Hi and welcome to Find What Moves You. My name is Tracy and this show is all about inspiring people to stay active and healthy for their entire lives. Today I am very lucky to have Share with me to talk about what she does, something that I don't do, and you're going to let us know all about Zumba.
Okay.
So can you just give us a little introduction to you? Not necessarily about Zumba, I just want to talk about you.
Sure. My name is Cher, as you said. My actual given name is Sharon, but I go by Zumba with Cher. And a little bit of background of that is my sister's name is Karen. So Karen and Sharon rhymed growing up. So I went by Cher, and that's how that happened.
That would make it easier on the playground at school, maybe?
A little bit, yeah. So I go by either. People know me by both. I've been a fitness instructor for 11 years now, primarily specializing in Zumba. Other than that, I am married, happily married, 25 years. I have 2 grown children and 2 beautiful grandchildren.
So I was just introduced to your Facebook page just before the show, actually, and I was looking through, and I thought those were your children, those 2 adorable little ones.
Yeah.
And you said you spend a lot of time with them, or you don't get to see them often?
Unfortunately, they live in Southern Ontario, but we do travel as much as we can to see them. So our oldest is 8, Cadence, and she actually has been to my Zumba classes and led a Zumba warm-up. So
No
she's
way.
kind of like grandma's girl. And the youngest is 5, Colin.
So part of the show is just about staying active and youthful. I mean, and little ones like that obviously are going to keep you active and staying young, right?
Of course.
So aside from Zumba, is there anything else that you're involved in?
I love to golf. I'm a big golfer. I used to be a big runner. Unfortunately, plantar fasciitis put a little kink into that, so I haven't ran for a while. But golfing's a passion, traveling. I do have a full-time career day job, so fitness instructing is kind of like my side gig, but it's one that I absolutely love to do.
So something that I know, because I'm a fitness instructor as well, is used to be like for me, I'd have to go to work and then find time to work out. The nice thing about being a fitness instructor is that you don't necessarily have to do that. You get your workout in while you're instructing other people, right?
Yeah, and it's good in the sense that I always joke around with my participants and I say, I can't believe they pay me to be here.
Yeah.
And then sometimes be like, if I wasn't getting paid to be here, I might be on the couch.
Yeah.
but I've never ever gone to a class and not left feeling energized and happy and just grateful to be doing what I do.
I get that. I've walked out of classes too and thought, this is what I'm getting paid to do today. It's amazing.
I know. Like, they pay us.
Has physical activity always been an important part of your life? You mentioned running before. Like, when did that start for you?
Actually, I didn't really get into fitness till I was probably in my mid-30s. I had kids very young. I was a mom of 2 in my very early 20s and became a grandma before I was 40, so that's kind of how that happened.
Yeah.
But, I didn't have a lot of time for fitness being a young mom. And then once they got older, it was actually golfing that I started with because my husband took up golfing and I realized the only time I could spend more time with him is when we golf in the summer because it's like 4 hours to golf. So I started with the golfing, and then on a whim, I signed up to run a half marathon. And
there's a whim for you.
I had 0 experience running, but it was in Las Vegas, and it was kind of like a thing to motivate me to go there.
Okay.
So I ran my first half marathon, and then I was hooked. I've run so many half marathons I can't count. I did 2 full marathons, never again. And
I like the middle distance too.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah. And then I started taking Zumba. Like, it was just in the Key one day, and my coworkers and I are like, let's go try this class. We went. They started dropping out until eventually it was just me. And I was like, every day I'd be like, I can't wait to go. I can't wait to go. And then all of a sudden there was instructor training in Thunder Bay. And so I was like, I'll try it out, see what happens.
Okay, so I want to talk about your instructor training, but I want to go back to the marathon first. Were all of your half marathons traveling?
Yes.
Okay. Because I find that racecation is
That's what we called them.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
So a couple other places that you've been and any standout experiences?
My full marathon was Long Beach, California, and it was 35 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
And so we couldn't run how we trained, so we said, let's do another one to run how we trained. So we did the Grandma's Marathon in Duluth 6 months later. and it was 34 degrees Celsius. So,
So no
after that, I
reprieve.
was like, I don't think I was meant to run a full marathon.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we don't get that kind of heat training here.
No. So it was fun though. Yeah.
So now, again, going back to your instructor training, when did you take that here?
April 14th, 11
Oh, you know
years ago.
the actual
I know
date.
because it showed up in my Facebook memories. So I
Okay.
just celebrated my 11th year anniversary, and I made a post, and I said, I've been doing this for 11 years, and I'm like shocked and grateful, humble. Like, I can't believe, like, if somebody had told me 12 years ago you'd be a fitness instructor, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, I understand that too.
Sure.
Yeah. So is it still available to become a Zumba instructor in Thunder Bay?
Absolutely. And now with the virtual world being so wide open, you can do it online. And actually during the pandemic, a few of the younger girls that come to my Zumba classes, I encouraged them to take the training, and they did. So now
Have you seen any of them, have any of them become teachers now?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. They have. Yeah.
That's the thing I find about our community is like you could easily say, well, maybe you don't want any more Zumba instructors or any instructors that, you know, doing fitness, but there's room for all of us.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you're a Zumba instructor, and you're talking to someone that's done one Zumba class in her entire life. We can talk about that later. But what else? What other types of Zumba do you teach?
So there's your basic Zumba, which is a cardio dance class, and you have a lot of Latin rhythms in there, different world rhythms. And then branching out from there, we have Zumba toning, which is my specialty and my number one class. We have Aqua Zumba, another hugely popular class, and Zumba step. There is Kids Zumba as well. I don't teach the Kids Zumba, but there's Kids Zumba. And there's different aspects of Zumba which are applicable to anybody who has some sort of an interest in it. Like with this, we're doing toning, so you're toning your muscles and stuff like that. We're not doing as much cardio jumping as a normal Zumba class would be. With Aqua Zumba, of course, we're in the water, so you have the resistance of the water, and and then with Zumba step, you have a step. But the thing they all have in common together is the music, the energy, the atmosphere, and it makes for the quickest 1 hour workout you've ever done.
So people are getting this fantastic workout without really realizing it, probably.
Absolutely.
Plus, there's all the fun involved, and I know there's other classes you teach as well, like drums, and I would like to talk a little bit more about that too. So we're just going to take a short break right now, and then I want to come back and talk about some of the classes you mentioned and about drums as well. So we'll be back with you in a few minutes. Hi and welcome back. We are here with Share talking about Zumba and all things Zumba. There's so many things that I didn't know. I thought there's one type. You talked about aqua, you talked about step, you talked about toning, and these are different than weights that I would use in my other fitness classes. Is there a reason they're different? Is it just for the fun? I'm going to let you explain it.
Grab one.
Okay.
Shake it. So these are Maraca sticks. These are 1 pound. There are
Yeah.
also purple ones, which are a little bit more. They're 2.5 pounds. They seem really light. I
Yeah.
assure you that once you start the class, they don't feel that light.
Yeah,
And
I understand
yeah.
that. When you're extending anything with a little bit of weight
so
to it.
a lot of people will come to class their first time and they'll lift up the 1 pound and they'll be like, oh, too light. And they'll grab the 2.5 pound and I'm like, just wait.
Yeah. You're
So,
going to change your mind about that.
Yeah, and we have some arm songs which are pretty intense with the weights. So even though they're light, they're very effective. You're always engaging your muscle and your core, whatever we're working on at that time. But they add that party atmosphere, the fun, because you've got the shaking and the maraca, and you add a little bit of flair to the workout. So it makes it a little bit exciting.
So, I mean, people are excited to come to my classes too, but I teach a class just before you at one of the places that we teach. And when people leave my class, they're kind of sweating and, not maybe as smiley as when they're coming into your class. They come in with all this energy, bright colors, and like they can't wait. And I'm just always really kind of excited to see who's coming in and the energy that's coming in. So I just wanted to give a little history of Zumba.
Yeah, so Zumba was created 30 plus years ago by Beto Perez, and it was actually created by just total fluke. He was an aerobic instructor, just doing basic cardio, and he had forgot his music one day. So he had a tape of, Latin music in his bag, and he just threw it on in a whim, and just danced his way through class instead of just doing your basic aerobic moves. And everyone was like, wow, that was the best ever. And, you know, he's made an empire out of it. There's like hundreds of thousands of instructors around the entire world now. So it's pretty popular. It's very, everyone can do it. So it's, you know, I have people in my class who are 18 years old, and I have people who are almost 80. So it's for everybody.
So thank God for him and for getting his tapes that day, because I know there's a lot of people that enjoy it. Not everyone might know what it is, but you've certainly heard the word at one point or another. So that's the point of this today, to let everybody know like what Zumba actually is.
Yeah.
Do you keep with that kind of music in your classes?
So we have to have 4 basic rhythms, so salsa, merengue, reggaeton, cumbia. So those are the 4 main rhythms. So we have to have those in our class. We can't play more than 2 of them, each of them. Each class probably has about 15 songs in it. And then we could add different worldwide rhythms. You can have Bhangra, you can have Bollywood, you can have pop. You know, you can add whatever you want in there as long as there's no more than 2 of each. But it just makes for a very diverse playlist that everybody seems to get very excited about.
Okay, you just said some words that I have no idea what they mean. A couple of them, like merengue, okay, I got that one.
Yeah.
But there was some other styles in there. What's the difference?
Just from different, like cumbia's from Colombia, you know, reggaeton's down from the Caribbean. So everything has a basic origin, and that's where the dance flair comes from each of them.
Okay, so if they're from other countries. That would be the reason I don't know the names of those rhythms. You mentioned also that the Berto, you said was his name?
Beto Perez.
Beto,
Yeah.
okay. He was the original. He was teaching aerobics. So do a lot of people compare Zumba to aerobics? And what would you tell them if they ask you, oh, is it just like aerobics?
Some people would. I think most people associate it with being a dance class and associate the fact that they think they have 2 left feet and can't come to class. So dispelling both those myths, anybody can come to a Zumba class. Of course, when the first time you do it, like anything, you're going to feel a little bit awkward. But once you consistently go, you'd be surprised at how you can catch on pretty quick. There's a formula to each, I'm going to say, song.
Okay.
And so, for example, for a toning song, we're going to focus on, say, biceps. And in that song, there's going to be 3 moves. And it's going to repeat, like the chorus and the bridge and all that stuff. So you're going to remember that. And then each song is going to have its own special moves. So it's not like you're going to go in and it's this fancy dance and there's like 12 moves and you're not going to get it, like doing hip hop or something. Like, it's consistent to make sure you get a good workout.
Okay, so going in, do you know exactly what you're going to be teaching? Like, do you know what each move is for each song? Or is that just, like, I always have a class plan. Did you have a class plan in the beginning? Is that, or just now you've done it so many times, you just know exactly where you're going?
So being a Zumba instructor, and I'll compare this to, I teach, say, aqua intensity and aqua Zumba.
Okay.
Aqua intensity, you're kind of like the leader, right? So you're saying, we're going to do this move for the next 30 seconds, and they do it for 30 seconds. In a Zumba class, I will do the entire class almost with them, and I'll coach them, and it's choreographed. So every song is unique, and every song has the same moves every time. So the people are going to get it. They're going to recognize that song. They're going to recognize the moves.
So you're going to be doing the same moves. So if I come to your class on Thursday and then I come the following Thursday and you play the song again, I'm going to eventually learn.
Yes.
Okay.
That song's going to have the same moves every time.
Okay, because like I said, I did come to one class and I have always felt like I have rhythm.
Yeah.
And I was not good at it, but there again is me expecting to be good at a class the first time I come, because I've worked out, I've done aerobics. Of course I'm going to be good at this. And that was not the case.
No.
Not saying I couldn't learn, but how long does it usually take somebody? Or I suppose it's different for all people, but in general.
In general, I'd say by the 3rd or 4th time, you're starting to catch on and you're starting to recognize the moves and you're starting to understand like the counts, 4 counts, 8 counts, that kind of thing, and the transitions. One of the really good things about being a Zumba instructor is you cue a lot. So 2, that way, they go 2, 4. So
I
they
need
kind
a
of
lot of that.
front, back, you know what I mean? So they once they get what you're doing, they kind of understand and they move with you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I know for me, you must find that you have your own personality that you put into your Zumba though. Like for me, I'm a very outgoing, bubbly person, but as soon as I start teaching a fitness class, this other person shows up that is very serious, and that's not for everyone, right? So you're going to find that people follow you. Do you get, like, I know you teach in a lot of different places. Do people follow you wherever you're going?
I have people who've been with me for 10 years. Yeah.
So wherever you're going, they're going to show up there.
They do. Yeah.
And then do you find too, like, have you gone to other instructors' classes recently?
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I actually co-teach with another instructor on Friday nights. We do a class together. So.
Okay. Because I find that people will find you, right?
Yeah.
They will find you for your personality, and if they're enjoying your class, they're going to gravitate towards you. So it's okay that I'm not the bubbliest.
Absolutely, that's what they want.
Yeah,
not everyone wants bubbly.
For that reason, yeah. So we're just going to take another short break, and then we're going to come back and talk to Share a little more about this. Hi, and welcome back. We are here talking with Share about Zumba and all things involved in Zumba and other rhythms. So that's one thing that concerned me about coming to another Zumba class. I love dance. I love music. Do you have to have good rhythm in order to come to Zumba class?
No, absolutely not. The great thing about Zumba is it's for people of all ages, all fitness levels, and you don't even have to be dancey. That's what I was saying, that people associate Zumba with being dance. It's not necessarily dance, especially like the other ones that I teach, like toning and aqua. You're not really dancey in there. Like you have the music and a few moves, but I think for everybody who comes, the most common misconception is I have 2 left feet and I can't do it. And honestly, that's what I said when I went to my first Zumba class.
I have to tell you, that's me. Yeah. But I'm also a yoga instructor and hated yoga the first time that I tried it. So there you go.
My husband actually said that he felt sorry for the person standing next to me my first Zumba class because I'm so clumsy.
Really? And you ended up...
And look at me now.
So what made you go back the second time? Was it the music?
Fun. It was the atmosphere. It's almost like a party atmosphere. It goes by so fast. Like you go on a treadmill for, you say you're going to go on for an hour and you feel like you've been on it forever and it's been 3 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas Zumba class, any kind of a Zumba class, you look at the clock and you're like, that's been an hour? Wow. Yeah. Like, it's just, you know, it's contagious, the energy, you just feel it, right?
So it's the music and people around you. We've said it time and time again on this show, it's community.
Yeah.
Like the people that, and you're seeing the same people often, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little intimidating when you're coming to that Zumba class for the first time and everybody else knows what they're doing. Like you feel like an alien there. But I think sticking with it, maybe 1, 2, 3 classes would be the key.
I always assure them, I said, exactly that. I'm like, you feel like everyone's watching you. I said, honestly, nobody's watching you. They're watching me. So when I make a mistake, everybody knows because the look on my face is like, but nobody's watching the new people. You know, in fact, they welcome the new people. And I've seen the seasoned members say, how did you like it? Did you enjoy it? You know, like they want people to love it as much as they do.
So we've talked about this with other sports as well. Like you think, I know when I started running, I've said this before too, that I felt like, oh, they're going to know I'm new and they're going to judge me. But it's not like that. They want you there. They will congratulate you and welcome you. So there's something else I've noticed besides the fact that the equipment is different. Is this the only Zumba specific equipment that we would see?
With Zumba Step, you would have the riser for a step class. Yeah.
But I've also noticed the dress.
Yeah.
That people come in dressed a little differently. If you could just speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's part of the flair of being Zumba because it's, you know, you're outgoing, you're excited. So people like to dress in bright colors and just have fun with it, right? Like it's, you know, a little bit extra. Some people tie up, you know, a shirt around their waist to give them an extra little flow flair with it. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's fun.
The colors, like I can see by your shoes, your little match there. There's a lot of really, really bright colors.
Yeah.
So there's also, when I interviewed people a few weeks ago about pickleball, there was this misconception that pickleball is for old people.
Yeah.
And they didn't realize, you know, people don't realize there's a junior section that's, you know, very competitive. So for you, what would be the biggest misconception that you would think about Zumba that people have?
I mean, a lot of people, other than that you have to know how to dance, you don't have to do that. a lot of people think that there are a lot of older people there, but not true. I have 18-year-olds, I have 80-year-olds, like I said. And I always tell everyone, go at your own pace, your own speed, your own intensity. I kind of go middle of the row. If something is not feeling good, modify, change the move. If you're feeling extra energetic, go higher than me. That's okay. And they do. So it's for everybody. Yeah.
So what about, do you have like a lot of men and women?
I would say primarily it is women, but that's not saying that men do not come to my class, especially in Aqua Zumba. I do have men generally always coming into that class. And with toning, they come, and a lot of them will stay for a few sessions. And, you know.
Do you find that they're surprised at how much they enjoy it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I get to in some of my fitness classes.
Yeah.
They might be a little apprehensive, but when they come, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm actually getting a workout here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So there's one other class that you teach. I've only done it once, but I absolutely loved it, and it's drums. Do you mind talking a little bit about that?
Yeah, so at one of the fitness centers I worked, there was an opportunity to take cardio drums. And basically you have one of those big exercise balls, the little risers for step, the little square ones, and drumsticks. And we just bang on the drums and call them drums, but you know, the balls.
Yeah.
But the music, you know, I put a lot of rock music in there and some EDM music in there. And at my classes, I've been turning out the lights so it feels like a little bit of a concert atmosphere. And it's just a great stress relief, to tell you the truth. Like it's a lot of fun, and people just sweating when they're done.
I've tried to get back into one of those classes, but they're so full that you can't even get into them. But the atmosphere was incredible.
It is,
And again, I left there thinking, man, this is what I could do for a living, but I'm not there yet. So we're just going to go and get a little taste or a little view of what you actually do, because I want people to see the atmosphere.
Okay.
And that's what we're going to do right now. We're here at West Thunder Community Center to check in on Share's Thursday evening Zumba class. Let's go see what's going on in that room. And we want to know, Michelle, why do you do Zumba?
I have been doing Zumba actually for about 12 years, and I do it because it's so much fun, so energetic, and the music makes it really fun always, and Share's such a great instructor.
Yeah, I've heard that from a couple of So that was a lot of fun. I just want to thank you, Share, so much for bringing all this information to us today. I think we did a lot of talking, but I think that probably that last little bit is going to encourage more people to maybe try Zumba. So thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for inviting me.
And thank you for watching. Until next time.